Welcome, everyone. Let me tell you something that might hurt a little, but it's true. You're not failing at consistency because you're weak. You're failing because you're trying to force yourself in the wrong way. You think consistency means fighting yourself every single day. You think it means pain, discipline, and endless struggle. But here's the truth. Real consistency doesn't feel like a battle. It feels like breathing. Most people try to build consistency by using willpower. But willpower is like a muscle that gets tired. And when it gets tired, you stop. You break your streak, you feel guilty, and then you start again, only to break again. In this video, I'm going to show you how to build consistency that doesn't depend on willpower. Consistency that feels natural, automatic, and almost effortless. So please listen till the end, and I promise you, you'll finish this video with tools that will change the way you approach any goal forever. This isn't another motivational speech about just do it or stay strong. Those don't work. We both know that. What I'm going to share with you today is different. It's based on how your brain actually works, how habits form, how consistency becomes automatic instead of forced. We're going to walk through 8 chapters together. Each chapter will give you one specific tool. By the end, you'll have a complete system, not just ideas, a real working system that you can use starting today. And if you care about building real skills, creating lasting change, and finally becoming the person you want to be, subscribe to our channel right now, because we bring you the most practical, psychology-based English learning videos in the world. Now, let's begin.
Chapter 1. Why You Can't Stay Consistent. The Real Reason. Let me start with a question. Have you ever started something with so much energy? Maybe you wanted to learn English, or exercise every day, or write, or read. And for the first few days, you felt amazing. You felt powerful. You felt like this time is different. This time I'm going to do it. But then something happened. Maybe on day 4 you were tired. On day 7 you had other things to do. On day 10 you forgot. And slowly, quietly, you stopped. And here's what you probably told yourself. I'm just not disciplined enough, or I'm lazy, or other people can do it, but I can't. But that's not true. You're not lazy. You're not undisciplined. You're just using the wrong method. Let me explain what really happens inside your brain. When you start something new, your brain is excited. Everything is fresh. Everything is interesting. Your brain releases something called dopamine. That's the chemical that makes you feel good, motivated, energized. But dopamine doesn't last forever. After a few days, the excitement fades, the newness disappears, and suddenly the same activity that felt exciting now feels boring, difficult, like work. And this is the moment where most people break, because they're relying on motivation, they're relying on that excited feeling. And when the feeling goes away, they think something is wrong. They think they've lost their discipline. But nothing is wrong. This is completely normal. Your brain is designed to get bored of repetition. It's looking for new, exciting, important things. So when something becomes routine, your brain stops giving you that dopamine reward. This is why motivation doesn't work for consistency. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings change every day. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel tired. If your consistency depends on how you feel, you will always break your streak. So what's the solution? The solution is to stop relying on feelings, stop relying on motivation. Instead, build a system that works even when you don't feel motivated, even when you're tired, even when you don't want to do it. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you now.
Chapter 2. The 2-minute rule. Make it too easy to fail. Here's your first technique. Most people fail at consistency because they try to do too much. They say, I'm going to study English for 1 hour every day, or I'm going to run for 30 minutes every morning. And on day 1, maybe they can do it. But on day 5, when they're tired, when they have other responsibilities, it becomes impossible. So here's what you do instead. You make your goal so small that it's impossible to fail. Instead of study English for 1 hour, you say, I will study English for 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. That's it. Now I know what you're thinking. 2 minutes? That's nothing. That won't help me improve. But you're wrong. Here's why. The hardest part of any task is starting. Once you start, it's easy to continue. The resistance, the difficulty, is in the beginning. So if you make the beginning incredibly easy, you remove all the resistance. When you tell yourself, I just need to do this for 2 minutes, your brain doesn't resist. It doesn't say, this is too hard. It says, okay, 2 minutes. I can do that. And here's what happens. You sit down, you open your book, you read for 2 minutes, and then something magical happens. You keep going. Because you're already there. You're already doing it, and continuing feels easier than stopping. Sometimes you'll only do 2 minutes, and that's fine, because you still did it. You kept your streak, you stayed consistent. But most of the time, you'll do more. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, sometimes even an hour. But it all started because you made it too easy to fail. So here's your exercise. Take whatever goal you have and make it smaller. So small that even on your worst day, even when you're exhausted, you can still do it. If your goal is to exercise, make it do 1 push-up. If your goal is to write, make it write 1 sentence. If your goal is to learn English, make it read 1 paragraph. Make it so easy that you have no excuse. This is the foundation of real consistency.
Chapter 3. The Identity Method. Become the person who does it. Now, let me teach you something even more powerful. Most people approach consistency the wrong way. They say, I want to learn English, or I want to exercise, or I want to be successful. But these are goals, and goals are in the future. They're something you're trying to reach. Instead, you need to change your identity. You need to become the person who already does these things. Let me explain the difference. Someone who has a goal says, I want to be a writer. Someone who has an identity says, I am a writer. Do you feel the difference? When you say, I want to be a writer, you're admitting that you're not one yet. You're trying to become something you're not, and that feels hard. It feels fake. It feels like you're pretending. But when you say, I am a writer, something changes, because now it's not about what you want, it's about who you are. And people act in ways that match their identity. If you see yourself as a writer, you write. Not because you have to, but because that's what writers do. If you see yourself as someone who learns English every day, you study. Not because you're forcing yourself, but because that's who you are. So here's how you use this technique. Every time you do your small action, even if it's just 2 minutes, you tell yourself, I am the kind of person who does this. You read one paragraph in English, you say, I am an English learner. This is what I do. You do one push-up, you say, I am someone who takes care of my body. This is who I am. You write one sentence, you say, I am a writer. This is what writers do. Every single time you do the action, you're not just completing a task, you're proving to yourself who you are. You're building your identity. And here's the beautiful thing about identity. Identity is stronger than goals. Identity is stronger than motivation because identity is about who you are, not what you want. And once you truly believe this is who I am, consistency becomes automatic. You don't need to force yourself anymore. You're just being yourself. So start today. Pick your action, do it for 2 minutes, and then say, I am the kind of person who does this. Say it out loud. Say it with confidence. And every day, that identity gets stronger until one day you realize you're not forcing yourself anymore. You're just being who you are.
Before we continue, I want to remind you of something important. If you're finding these techniques helpful, take a second to like this video and drop a comment telling me which exercise you're going to try first, the 2-minute rule or the identity method. Your feedback helps me create better content for you. Now let's keep going because we're just getting started. Chapter 4. The Streak System. Make missing once impossible. Now I'm going to teach you how to protect your consistency. Here's the truth. You will have bad days. Days when you're tired. Days when you're sick. Days when everything goes wrong. And on those days, you might break your streak. But here's the thing. Missing one day isn't the problem. The problem is what happens after you miss one day. Most people think like this. I missed yesterday, so my streak is broken. It doesn't matter anymore. I'll just start again next week. And that one missed day becomes 2 days, then 3, then a week, then a month. But smart people think differently. Smart people have a rule: never miss twice. Let me say that again. Never miss twice. If you miss one day, that's okay. Life happens. But the next day, you absolutely must do it, no matter what, even if it's just for 1 minute. Because the streak isn't about being perfect. The streak is about proving to yourself that you always come back. Here's how you use this. First, track your consistency. Use a calendar, use an app, use anything. But every day you do your action, mark it, make it visual, make it real. Second, when you miss a day, don't panic, don't judge yourself. Just mark it as missed, and then make a promise. I will not miss twice. The next day, no matter how you feel, you do your 2 minutes. Even if it's the smallest version, even if it feels silly, you do it. Because you're not just completing a task, you're proving that you can come back. You're building the skill of recovery. And recovery is more important than perfection. Anyone can be consistent when everything is easy, but the real skill is being consistent even when things are hard, even when you fail, even when you don't feel like it. That's the difference between someone who tries and someone who succeeds. So remember, never miss twice. This is your safety rule. This is what protects your streak.
Chapter 5. The Environment Design. Make the right choice easier. Now let's talk about something powerful. Your environment. Most people try to build consistency through willpower.
They try to fight against distractions, fight against temptations, fight against their own desires. But that's exhausting, and it doesn't work long term. Smart people don't rely on willpower. They design their environment so that the right choice is the easiest choice. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to read more. You could try to force yourself to read every night, fight the temptation to watch TV, fight the urge to scroll on your phone. Or you could make reading easier than watching TV. How? Put a book on your pillow. When you go to bed, it's right there. You have to move it to lie down. And when you move it, you remember, oh, I wanted to read. Put your phone in another room. Make watching TV harder. Make scrolling harder. Make reading easier. Now you're not fighting yourself anymore. You're just following the path of least resistance, and the path leads to reading. This is called environment design, and it works for everything. Want to exercise? Put your workout clothes next to your bed. When you wake up, they're the first thing you see. Want to study English? Put your English book on your desk. Close all other apps. Make English the easiest thing to do. Want to eat healthy? Put healthy food at eye level. Put unhealthy food in hard-to-reach places. You're not changing who you are. You're changing your environment, and your environment shapes your behavior. Here's your exercise. Look at your goal and ask yourself, how can I make this easier? How can I remove obstacles? How can I design my space so that the right choice is the easiest choice? Then, make one change today. Just one. Remove one obstacle. Add one reminder. Make one thing easier. Small changes in your environment create massive changes in your behavior.
Chapter 6. The Emotional Anchor. Connect to your why. Now, we need to talk about something deeper, your why. Because here's the truth. Techniques are useful, systems are helpful, but they're not enough. If you don't have a strong emotional reason for doing something, you will give up. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, when things get hard, you'll ask yourself, why am I doing this? And if you don't have a good answer, you'll stop. So you need to create an emotional anchor, a deep personal reason that pulls you forward even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. Here's how you find it. Ask yourself, what will my life look like if I stay consistent with this for 1 year? Really imagine it. Close your eyes if you need to. See yourself 1 year from now. You've studied English every single day. You've exercised every single day. You've written every single day. What does that person look like? How do they feel? How has their life changed? Now ask yourself, what will my life look like if I don't do this, if I give up, if I stay the same? Imagine that too. See yourself 1 year from now, still struggling with the same problems, still wishing you had started, still feeling stuck. Which future do you want? This is your emotional anchor. And whenever you feel like quitting, you come back to this. You remember the person you are becoming. You remember why you started. But here's something important. Your why can't be about other people. It can't be about proving something to someone else. It has to be about you. Because other people's opinions change. Other people's support comes and goes. But your own dreams, your own vision for your life, that stays with you forever. So write down your why. Make it personal. Make it emotional. Make it real. And whenever you feel like giving up, read it, remember it, feel it. This is what will carry you through the hard days.
Chapter 7. The 3R System, your daily consistency formula. Now I'm going to give you a complete system, a formula that brings everything together. I call it the 3R system. The 3 R's stand for reminder, routine, reward.
This is how you build consistency that lasts forever. Let me explain each part. First, R, reminder. A reminder is something that tells you it's time to do your action. This could be a time. Every day at 7 a.m., I study English. This could be a location. Every time I sit at my desk, I write. This could be an event. Right after I brush my teeth, I read. The reminder is your trigger. It tells your brain, now is the time. Second R, routine. The routine is your 2-minute action. It's the small, easy thing you decided to do. Read one paragraph, do one push-up, write one sentence. This is what you do every single day, no matter what. Third R, reward. This is the most important part, and most people skip it. After you do your routine, you need to reward yourself. Not with food, not with money, but with feeling. You need to feel proud, feel accomplished, feel good about yourself. How do you do this? You say out loud, I did it. I'm proud of myself. I'm the kind of person who keeps promises to myself. Or you smile, you celebrate, you mark your calendar. You send yourself a message that says, good job. This might feel silly, but it's not. This is how you train your brain to love consistency, because your brain learns through rewards. When you feel good after doing something, your brain wants to do it again. It creates a positive loop. So here's the complete system. The 3R formula. Reminder. When I, trigger, I will, action. Routine. Do your 2-minute action. Reward, celebrate, feel proud, acknowledge yourself. Every single day. This is how habits form. This is how consistency becomes automatic. Let me give you an example. Reminder. When I finish breakfast, I will study English. Routine. Read one paragraph from my English book. Reward. I did it. I'm someone who learns every day. I'm proud of myself. That's it. Simple, clear, powerful. Now you try. Create your own 3R formula. Write it down. Make it specific. This is your daily system. This is what you do every single day until it becomes who you are.
Chapter 8. The Long Game Mindset. Think in years, not days. Finally, let me teach you the most important lesson of all. Most people fail at consistency because they're thinking too short-term. They want results now. They want to see progress today. They want to feel different this week. And when they don't see immediate results, they think it's not working, so they stop. But real consistency isn't about days or weeks. It's about years. Let me show you something. If you improve by just 1% every day, do you know how much better you'll be in 1 year? 37 times better. Not 365%, not even 100%, but 3,700% better. 37 times better than you are today. Because improvement compounds. Small actions, repeated over time, create massive results. But you have to think long-term. You have to say, I'm not doing this for today. I'm doing this for the person I'll become in 5 years. And when you think like this, everything changes. Missing 1 day doesn't matter because you're thinking in years. Slow progress doesn't matter because you're thinking in years. What matters is the direction. Are you moving forward? Are you staying consistent? Are you becoming the person you want to be? If yes, then you're winning. So here's my final advice. Stop counting days. Stop obsessing over streaks. Stop worrying about perfect. Instead, Ask yourself one question every night before you sleep. Did I move forward today? Even just a little bit. If the answer is yes, you're succeeding. And if you do that every single day for 1 year, for 5 years, for 10 years, you will become someone you can't even imagine right now. So play the long game, trust the process, and never, ever give up on yourself. You've now completed one of the most important lessons you'll ever learn about consistency. You didn't just learn tricks or tips. You learned how your brain works. You learned why you fail, and you learned exactly how to succeed. Let me remind you what you now know. You learned the 2-minute rule. Make your goals so small you can't fail. You learned the identity method. Become the person who does the thing. You learned to never miss twice. Recovery is more important than perfection. You learned environment design. Make the right choice the easy choice. You learned to connect to your why, your emotional anchor that pulls you forward. You learned the 3R system: reminder, routine, reward. And you learned the long game mindset. Think in years, not days. These aren't just ideas. These are tools, real, proven, powerful tools. You're not someone who struggles with consistency. You are someone who understands how consistency works, and now you know exactly how to build it. If this video helped you even 1%, subscribe to our channel right now, because we're building a space where people don't just wish for change, they create it, they become it. Save this video, watch it every week, use every chapter like a lesson, because this isn't information you learn once and forget. This is a system you practice until it becomes part of who you are. Remember, consistency doesn't come from willpower. It doesn't come from motivation. It doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from having a system. It comes from thinking long-term. It comes from understanding yourself. And now you have everything you need. Start small. Start today. Start with 2 minutes. Build your identity. Protect your streak. Design your environment. And most of all, trust the process, because you are becoming someone incredible. Thank you for watching. Let's grow together.
Welcome, everyone. Let me tell you something that might hurt a little, but it's true. You don't have a challenge problem. You don't have a luck problem. You have a perspective problem. You think success comes from avoiding challenges, waiting for perfect conditions, or finding the easy path. But here's the truth. It's not about avoiding challenges. It's about choosing them strategically. Most people run from difficulty. They choose comfort. They take the safe route. They wait for challenges to disappear before they start moving forward. And then they wonder why success feels so far away, why others seem to progress while they stay stuck, why their dreams remain just dreams. Here's the secret no one told you. Challenges aren't obstacles blocking your path to success. Challenges are the path to success. Every successful person you admire, they didn't avoid challenges. They walked straight toward them. They chose the hard conversations. They took the difficult projects. They faced their fears instead of running from them. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to take challenges strategically, how to grow through difficulty instead of being broken by it, and how to transform every obstacle into a stepping stone toward the success you deserve. So please listen till the end. I promise you'll finish this video knowing exactly how to turn challenges into your greatest competitive advantage. What makes this different from every other success video you've watched? Simple. This isn't about positive thinking or empty motivation. This is about strategy, the actual mechanics of how to approach challenges in a way that builds skill,
confidence, and results. In the next 60 minutes, I'm going to walk you through 8 powerful chapters. Chapter 1, Why Avoiding Challenges Keeps You Stuck, the Comfort Trap. Chapters 2 and 3, How to Identify Which Challenges to Take and Which to Avoid, the Challenge Selection Framework. Chapters 4 through 6, The Exact System for Facing Challenges Without Breaking, Resilience, Growth, and Skill Building. Chapters 7 and 8, How to Compound Small Wins into Major Success, and How to Become Someone Challenges Can't Stop. And if you care about achieving real success, building unshakable confidence, and becoming someone who rises to every challenge, subscribe to our channel right now, because we bring you the most practical, results-driven wisdom in the world. Now, let's begin.
Chapter 1, The Comfort Trap. Why Avoiding Challenges Keeps You Stuck. Let me paint a picture. You have a goal. Maybe it's career advancement. Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's mastering English. Maybe it's building something meaningful. But between you and that goal, there are challenges. Difficult conversations, skills you don't have yet, fears you need to face, uncomfortable situations you'd rather avoid. So what do most people do? They wait, they prepare, they research, they plan. They tell themselves, I'll do it when I'm ready, when conditions are better, when I feel more confident. And while they're waiting, someone else, someone less qualified, less prepared, less naturally talented, takes the challenge, faces the difficulty, makes mistakes, learns, adjusts, and wins. Sound familiar? Here's what's really happening. Your brain is designed for survival, not success. Survival means avoiding danger, staying safe, choosing comfort. And to your ancient brain, challenges feel like danger. A difficult conversation? Danger. A new skill that makes you look foolish while learning? Danger. A project that might fail? Danger. So your brain screams, don't do it, stay safe, wait. But here's the problem. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Think about every skill you have. Speaking your native language, walking, reading. Every single one was learned by facing challenges you weren't ready for. You weren't ready to walk. You fell hundreds of times, but you took the challenge anyway. You weren't ready to speak. You made thousands of grammar mistakes, but you took the challenge anyway. As a child, you didn't wait to feel ready. You just tried, failed, learned, tried again. But somewhere along the way, you forgot that formula. You started waiting, preparing, avoiding, and now you're stuck. Not because you're not capable, but because you're choosing comfort over challenge. This is the comfort trap. It feels safe, but it keeps you exactly where you are. The successful people you admire, they escaped this trap. They chose challenge over comfort. And today, you're going to learn how.
Chapter 2, The Challenge Selection Framework. Not all challenges are worth taking. Here's an important truth. Not every challenge deserves your time and energy. Some challenges build you, others break you. Some move you toward your goals, others drain you without reward. Wise people don't take every challenge. They select challenges strategically. Here's how. The 4-question framework. Question 1. Does this challenge align with my goals? If you want to master English, taking a challenge to learn advanced mathematics might be difficult, but it's not aligned. Your energy is limited. Spend it on challenges that move you toward what you actually want. Question 2. Is this challenge at the right difficulty level? Too easy and you don't grow. Too hard and you break.
The sweet spot is challenging enough to stretch you, but not so hard that success is impossible. Think of it like lifting weights. If you lift 5 pounds forever, you don't get stronger. If you try to lift 500 pounds immediately, you get injured. But if you lift slightly more than you're comfortable with, you grow. Question 3. Can I recover from failure? Some challenges have asymmetric risk. If you fail, the cost is catastrophic. Those aren't the right challenges to take when you're building. But if you fail and you can learn, adjust, and try again, that's a good challenge. Question 4. Will this challenge teach me transferable skills? The best challenges don't just solve one problem. They teach you skills you can use forever. Public speaking teaches communication, confidence, and presence, useful in every area of life. Learning a language teaches discipline, pattern recognition, and cultural awareness, transferable everywhere. Sales teaches persuasion, empathy, and resilience, valuable in every career. Choose challenges that compound, that make you better in multiple areas. How to apply this? Write down 3 challenges you're facing or considering. Score each one on these 4 questions from 1 to 10. The challenge with the highest total score? That's the one to take first. Not every challenge is equal. Choose wisely. Choose strategically. Choose challenges that build the you that you want to become. Chapter 3. The Micro-Challenge Method. Start smaller than you think. Most people fail at challenges not because they lack ability, but because they start too big. They want to learn English, so they commit to studying 3 hours every day. Day 1, maybe they do it. Day 2, they're tired. Day 3, they quit. They want to get healthier, so they commit to running 5 miles every morning. Day 1, they're sore. Day 2, they skip. Day 3, they give up. Big commitments feel impressive, but they rarely stick. Here's a better way. The Micro-Challenge Method. Step 1. Identify the smallest possible version of your challenge. Want to learn English? Don't commit to 3 hours. Commit to 1 sentence out loud every morning. Want to exercise? Don't commit to an hour. Commit to 10 push-ups. Want to write a book? Don't commit to a chapter. Commit to 1 paragraph. Step 2. Make it so easy you can't say no. The goal isn't to impress anyone. The goal is to start, and starting is 80% of success. When your challenge feels easy, you do it. When you do it, you build momentum. When you have momentum, you naturally do more. Step 3. Stack micro-challenges gradually. Once 1 micro-challenge feels easy, you're doing it without resistance. Add another small one. First week, 1 English sentence daily. Second week, 1 sentence plus 5 minutes of listening. Third week, 1 sentence plus 5 minutes of listening plus 1 written paragraph. Slowly, gradually, building. Step 4. Celebrate every completion. Every time you complete your micro-challenge, celebrate it. Not with a big party, just a quiet acknowledgement. I did it. I showed up. This trains your brain that challenges equal wins, and your brain loves winning. Why this works? Big challenges scare your brain, so it resists. Micro-challenges feel safe, so your brain cooperates. And once you start, continuing feels natural. The hardest part is always the beginning. Make the beginning easy. Then let momentum carry you forward. Start small, smaller than you think, smaller than feels impressive. Then let small become big through consistency.
Before we continue, I want to remind you something important. If you're finding this helpful, take a second to like this video and drop a comment telling me what's 1 challenge you're going to take using these frameworks. Your engagement helps me create better content for you. I read every single comment. Now, Let's keep going with 4 more powerful strategies. Chapter 4. The Challenge Reframe. Change how you see difficulty. Here's a powerful truth. The challenge isn't what breaks you. Your interpretation of the challenge is what breaks you. 2 people face the same difficulty. One sees it as proof they're not good enough. The other sees it as training for who they're becoming. Same challenge, completely different outcome. The 3 reframes that change everything. Reframe 1, from threat to training. Most people see challenges as threats. This is dangerous. I might fail. I might look stupid. Successful people see challenges as training. This is preparation. I'm building skills. I'm becoming stronger. When you see a challenge as a threat, your body activates stress response. You tense up. You make worse decisions. You want to run. But when you see a challenge as training, your body activates learning response. You stay curious. You problem solve. You grow. Reframe 2, from permanent to temporary. Unsuccessful people think, I failed, I'm a failure, I'll always fail. Successful people think, I failed this time, I learned something, I'll adjust and try again. See the difference? One makes failure about identity. It's permanent, it's who you are. The other makes failure about action. It's temporary. It's what you did, not who you are. Reframe 3, from fixed to flexible. Fixed mindset. I'm not good at this. I'll never be good at this. Flexible mindset. I'm not good at this yet. With practice, I'll improve. That one word, yet, changes everything. It transforms a dead end into a path. It transforms impossibility into inevitability. How to practice reframing. When you face a challenge this week, catch your first thought. Is it threat-based or training-based? Then consciously reframe it. This is scary becomes this is training. I'm failing becomes I'm learning. I can't do this becomes I can't do this yet. Your brain believes what you tell it, so tell it empowering stories, not limiting ones. The challenge doesn't change, but when you change how you see it, how you respond to it changes completely.
Chapter 5. The Resilience Stack. How to keep going when it gets hard. Facing challenges is one thing. Surviving them is another. Most people quit not because the challenge is impossible, but because they run out of resilience. They get tired, discouraged, overwhelmed. Here's how to build resilience that doesn't run out. Layer 1. Physical foundation. You can't be mentally resilient if your body is exhausted. Sleep enough. 7 to 9 hours, non-negotiable. Move your body daily, even 10 minutes of walking helps. Eat real food. Your brain runs on what you feed it. This isn't optional. Your resilience is built on your physical foundation. Layer 2. Emotional regulation. Challenges create big emotions, fear, frustration, doubt. If you can't manage those emotions, they manage you. Practice. When emotion rises, pause. Breathe slowly. Name the emotion out loud. I'm feeling frustrated right now. Naming emotions reduces their power over you. Research proves this. Layer 3. Support system. You're not meant to face challenges alone. Find 1 or 2 people who believe in you, who encourage you, who remind you why you started when you forget. Call them when it's hard. Let them help you carry the weight. Layer 4. Progress tracking. When you're in the middle of a challenge, it's easy to feel like nothing's working. That's why you track.
Keep a simple journal. Every day, write one thing you did toward your challenge. Even the smallest action counts. When you feel like quitting, read back through your journal. You'll see proof that you're moving forward, even when it doesn't feel like it. Layer 5, purpose connection. Why does this challenge matter? What will succeeding give you? Who will you become by overcoming this? Write it down. Read it every morning. When the challenge gets hard, and it will, your purpose pulls you forward when motivation fails. The stack in action. Think of resilience like a building. Each layer supports the next. Physical foundation to emotional regulation to support system to progress tracking to purpose connection. Build each layer. Strengthen each layer. And when challenges hit, you won't break. You'll bend. You'll struggle, but you'll keep going. Because resilience isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up. Chapter 6. The deliberate challenge practice. Turn difficulty into mastery. Here's what separates people who get better from people who just stay busy. Busy people repeat what's easy. They practice what they already know. Skilled people practice what's hard. They seek out their weaknesses and turn them into strengths. This is called deliberate practice, and it's how every master became a master. The deliberate challenge framework. Step 1. Identify your weakest link. What part of your challenge feels hardest? What makes you most uncomfortable? Learning English? Maybe it's speaking out loud. Maybe it's listening comprehension. Maybe it's writing. Whatever it is, that's where you practice. Step 2. Isolate that weakness and practice it specifically. Don't practice everything. Practice the one thing you're worst at. If speaking is hard, don't read more, speak more. If listening is hard, don't write more, listen more. Direct practice, focused improvement. Step 3. Push just beyond your current ability. Practice at the edge of your skill, not in the middle where it's comfortable, at the edge where you're stretching. This feels uncomfortable. That's the point. Discomfort is where growth happens. Step 4. Get immediate feedback. How do you know if you're improving? Feedback. Record yourself speaking English. Listen back. Notice what sounds wrong. Fix it. Have a conversation. Ask your partner, was that clear? Adjust. Do a practice test. Check your score. See what you got wrong. Study that. Feedback closes the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Step 5. Repeat with increasing difficulty. Once something becomes easy, it stops building skill. So increase the difficulty. Speaking one sentence became easy, try 5 sentences. 5 sentences became easy, try a full minute. 1 minute became easy, try a conversation. Always slightly harder than before, always stretching, always growing. Why this works? Your brain builds skill by solving problems at the edge of its ability. If the problem is too easy, your brain doesn't engage fully. If the problem is too hard, your brain shuts down. But at the edge, where it's challenging but achievable, that's where neural pathways strengthen. That's where learning happens. Take your challenge, break it down, find your weakest link, practice it deliberately, and watch yourself transform from struggling to skilled.
Chapter 7. The Win-Stack System. How small victories create major success. Most people think success is one big breakthrough, one perfect moment where everything changes. But that's not how it works. Real success is hundreds of small wins stacked on top of each other until the stack is so tall that from the outside it looks like magic. But it's not magic. It's math. It's compounding. Here's how to stack wins. The daily win. Every single day, accomplish one small thing related to your challenge. Spoke one English sentence? Win. Did 10 minutes of exercise? Win. Had one difficult conversation? Win. Mark it down. Track it. Acknowledge it. Your brain needs evidence that you're winning.
Give it that evidence daily. The weekly win. Every week, complete one slightly bigger challenge than your daily challenges. Daily wins, speaking one sentence. Weekly win, having a 5-minute conversation in English. Daily wins, 10 push-ups. Weekly win, a full 30-minute workout. The weekly win proves you're progressing. It shows the daily wins are adding up. The monthly win. Every month, accomplish something that felt impossible at the start of the month. Month 1, couldn't speak English for 30 seconds without stopping. End of month 1, had a 10-minute conversation. Month 2, couldn't run 1 mile. End of month 2, ran 3 miles without stopping. Monthly wins are your proof of transformation. They're milestone markers that show how far you've come. The quarterly review. Every 3 months, look back at where you started. Compare yourself not to others, compare yourself to your past self. What couldn't you do 3 months ago that you can do now? What scared you 3 months ago that feels normal now? What challenged you 3 months ago that feels easy now? Write it all down. Celebrate it all. Let yourself feel proud. Why stacking works. Success doesn't come from one giant leap. It comes from consistent small steps in the same direction. Day 1, you're at ground level. It feels like nothing's happening. Day 30, you're 3 feet higher. Still feels small. Day 100, you're at the top of the mountain. Now it looks like overnight success. But you know the truth. It was every single day, every single small win, stacked. Start stacking today. One small win, then another, then another. And in 1 year, you'll be somewhere you can't even imagine right now. Chapter 8. Become someone challenges can't stop. Here's the final truth about challenges and success. The goal isn't to overcome one challenge. The goal is to become the kind of person who rises to every challenge, to transform your identity, not just your actions. From I'm trying to I am. Don't say I'm trying to learn English. Say I am an English learner. Don't say I'm trying to get healthy. Say I am a healthy person. Don't say I'm trying to build a business. Say I am an entrepreneur. Identity drives behavior. When you see yourself as the thing, you act like the thing. From challenges stop me to challenges grow me. Unsuccessful identity. I avoid challenges. They're too hard. I'm not ready. Successful identity. I seek challenges. They make me stronger. I'm always ready to try. Your identity determines what you do when things get hard. If your identity is someone who quits when it's hard, you'll quit. If your identity is someone who grows through difficulty, you'll persist. From success is luck to success is inevitable. Unsuccessful identity. Successful people got lucky. I'm just not one of those people. Successful identity. Success comes from taking challenges repeatedly until something works. I'm becoming successful through action. When you believe success is luck, you wait for luck. When you believe success is skill plus persistence, you build skill and persist. How to shift identity. Every action you take is a vote for the person you're becoming. Every time you take a challenge, you vote, I am someone who faces difficulty. Every time you persist when it's hard, you vote, I am someone who doesn't quit. Every time you get back up after failure, you vote, I am resilient. Enough votes in the same direction and your identity changes. You stop trying to be successful, you become successful. You stop trying to face challenges, you become someone challenges can't stop. And that changes everything.
You've now completed one of the most important lessons on your success journey.
You didn't just learn about challenges, you learned how to transform yourself through them. You learned why avoiding challenges keeps you stuck in the comfort trap. You learned the challenge selection framework. Not all challenges are worth taking. You learned the micro-challenge method. Start smaller than you think. You learned the 3 powerful reframes that change how you see difficulty. You learned the resilience stack, 5 layers that keep you going when it's hard. You learned deliberate practice, how to turn weakness into mastery. You learned the win stack system, how small victories compound into major success. And you learned how to become someone challenges can't stop. You're not someone who hopes to be successful someday. You are someone who takes challenges strategically, grows through difficulty, and wins through persistence. If this video helped you even 1%, subscribe to our channel right now. Turn on the notification bell. We're building a community of people who rise to challenges, who choose growth over comfort, who become unstoppable. Save this video. Watch it before you face your next big challenge. Let it remind you that you're built for difficulty. Remember, success doesn't come from avoiding challenges. Success comes from walking straight toward them, learning from them, and becoming stronger through them. Choose your challenge. Select it strategically. Start small. Build daily. Stack your wins. Reframe difficulty as training. Build resilience. Practice deliberately. And most of all, become someone challenges can't stop. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. The challenge in front of you isn't blocking your path. It is your path. Take it, face it, grow through it, and watch yourself become the success story you've always admired in others. Thank you for watching. Let's grow together.